the difference between a duchess and a princess? Are there duties involved in being a duchess? What are the pros and cons? Here's all you need to know about this royal title. By definition, a duchess is a woman who holds the rank equivalent to a duke, the title just below the monarchs in most hierarchies. There is one European country, Luxembourg, where a duke or duchess serves as the country's ruler. Other countries with duchesses include the UK, Sweden, and Belgium. Dukes and duchesses oversee a particular territory called a duchy. There aren't many ways to become a duchess. The first is to be born into a royal family, but even then, it isn't guaranteed. It would be up to the king or queen to bestow the title upon you, perhaps on your wedding day, if one is vacant. If you weren't lucky enough to be born into royalty, then the only way to become a duchess is to marry a duke or someone who will soon be one. So, if you have dreams of becoming an elegant royal that lives in a stately castle in a far-off European land, just know that the transition is neither commonplace nor easy. Determining the difference between a princess and a duchess can be a bit tricky, but the main difference is that duchess is an official title of peerage, while princess is a more ceremonial title having to do with one's place in succession to the throne. Princesses may become duchesses, depending on who they marry and open titles within the family. To be a princess, one would need to be the daughter or granddaughter of the monarch, or spouse of the heir to the throne, the Sun explains. By being the wife of the heir, Prince William, Kate Middleton is Princess of Wales, for example. She's also the Duchess of Cambridge. William and Kate's daughter Charlotte is also a princess. But there's a little wiggle room there. Wives technically take their spouse's title after the wedding. Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, isn't married to the heir, but by being married to Prince Harry, she could be referred to as Princess Henry of Wales, Reader's Digest explains. So how you style a woman's title can change the way to which she is referred.
My dear Duchess, you know how much I want you to take your rightful place as regent.
Royal life comes with strict guidelines to preserve tradition and protect the reputation of the royal family. Its members are expected to act in accordance with proper royal protocol throughout their daily lives. Royals, including duchesses, should not engage in excessive public displays of affection, for example, because it does not appear professional. Working royals are also not allowed to hold a political office or vote, and are discouraged from expressing any personal political views. Another no-no is signing autographs or taking selfies with fans, and royals must travel with all-black outfits to be prepared for any sudden deaths within the family. Finally, the monarch must approve of wedding engagements before the proposal, as well as the wedding dress prior to the wedding, Marie Claire explains. Duchesses who are active within the British royal family have a range of royal duties that include philanthropic work, advocacy work, touring duties, public appearances, and supporting the royal family organisation. While working within the bounds of the royal firm, duchesses are not technically permitted to have an outside commercial job. However, as Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, and Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, have demonstrated, once you are no longer part of the royal machine, you are free to work in whatever capacity you choose. For example, after Fergie divorced Prince Andrew, she went on to work in television and film, be a Weight Watchers ambassador, and she has even become a children's book and historical romance author. Markle also has several ongoing projects: the Archewell Organisation, her podcast, Archetypes, and a variety of Netflix and Spotify projects with her husband, Prince Harry. The UK government explains that many of the duchesses within the British royal family live on a property owned by the Crown Estate, which is a collection of properties that belong to the royal family. Specifically, Kensington Palace in London is the go-to spot for living the Duchess life. Historic Royal Palaces notes that current residents at Kensington Palace as of the making of this video include the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester and the Duke and Duchess of Kent. According to Insider, Prince William and Princess Catherine's so-called apartment in the palace, which they moved out of in 2022, has a whopping 20 rooms.
Will and Kate will keep their 20-room home at Kensington Palace as their official residence.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, previously lived at Kensington Palace, but in January 2020 broke from tradition and stepped down as senior members of the royal family. Meghan and Harry now live in a $14.65 million home in upscale Montecito, California. Being a Duchess has some legit perks if you're into public recognition and the finer things of life. Part of the royal treatment includes officially being addressed as Your Grace or Royal Highness if you are a part of the monarch's immediate family, the English manor explains. Another advantage of being a Duchess is having access to an incredible array of royal fashion and jewellery, either by borrowing or inheriting it. Another perk afforded to royals is the opportunity to attend the best and most prestigious schools. And during their time off, Duchesses can relax in the British royal family's great assortment of vacation homes. Luxury international vacations are also on the agenda. According to E! News, William and Catherine have taken lavish vacations in the Caribbean, including a stay in a Mustique villa that cost $30,000 per week. Duchesses are expected to present themselves in a way that is ladylike and honours their family and country. Cosmopolitan notes that for the British royal family, modest hemlines, professional clothing, and natural hair and makeup are all general guidelines that Duchesses should adhere to when appearing in public. Two contemporary examples of Duchesses who are well known for sporting iconic royal fashion are Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge, and Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex. Aside from her impeccable hair, Kate is best known for her classic chic and buttoned-up sartorial taste. You will see her in more traditional silhouettes mixed with reserved patterns or colours. Meghan, the former Suits star, has a more laid-back elegance which mixes contemporary silhouettes with a neutral colour palette. In true American fashion, she is also a big fan of more casual staples like jeans and sneakers. However, laid back doesn't mean without influence. In fact, in 2019, the fashion search engine Lyst ranked Meghan as the most powerful dresser in the world. From constant pestering from the press and paparazzi to a plethora of mandatory public engagements, once you remove the rose-tinted glasses, being a royal isn't always a dream life. As Meghan Markle told Oprah Winfrey in the groundbreaking interview from March 2021, there was an abundance of rules and regulations she had to follow. Markle said she was discriminated against and silenced to the point of having suicidal thoughts.
I just didn't want to be alive anymore.
Another example is Princess Diana, who did not have an easy go at being a duchess or a princess. She experienced loneliness, heavy scrutiny from the press, infidelity from her husband, and an eating disorder. For Andrew Morton's 1992 biography titled Diana, Her True Story, Diana sent the author personal recordings, saying, "The bulimia started the week after we got engaged and would take nearly a decade to overcome. My husband put his hand on my waistline and said, 'Oh, a bit chubby here, aren't we?' And that triggered off something in me. And the Camilla thing." Camilla is Camilla Parker Bowles, the woman with whom Diana's husband, then Prince Charles, was having an affair and would eventually marry. Clearly, royal life can take a severe toll on one's physical and mental health. According to Pop Sugar, duchesses who are working royals in the British royal family do not receive a salary. So who is bankrolling their lavish lifestyle? Besides the personal wealth of the royal family, some money comes from the people's taxpayer pounds, as well as the income of specific duchies. Prior to Prince Harry and Meghan stepping down as senior royals, the vast majority of the couple's income came from Harry's father, now King Charles III, through his Duchy of Cornwall, the BBC reports. In 2018 and 2019, the Duchy of Cornwall supplied more than £5 million in funds that covered professional and private expenses for Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, Prince William, and Kate Middleton. If a duchess gets divorced from her duke husband or he passes away, her duchess title and her children's titles remain intact. The duchess title technically lasts a lifetime, that is, unless the duchess decides to remarry, at which point she would lose it. What the duchess could be at risk of losing in the event of a divorce, though, is Her Royal Highness title if she has one. In 1996, for example, when Princess Diana divorced Prince Charles, she had her Royal Highness title taken away. Her son, Prince William, famously said, "Don't worry, Mummy, I will give it back to you one day when I am king." Unfortunately, she didn't live to see that day. Can you imagine waking up and going into the bathroom to find someone has already squeezed toothpaste onto your toothbrush? What about going to tie your shoes and noticing that your shoelaces are perfectly ironed? These are a couple of examples of how the royals do not, in fact, live like the rest of us.
Well, I guess just the 7 of us.
There are plenty of other strange traditions for the British royal family. Warm biscuits are kept at the ready for King Charles III. The late Queen Elizabeth II would have someone break in her new shoes, and she used bagpipes as her personal alarm clock. A few more strange traditions that affect the family's duchesses include members of the royal family getting weighed before and after Christmas dinner, and the game of Monopoly being banned within the family, a silly rule and potentially an inside joke. Being a member of the British royal family sounds like a privileged yet strange life.